everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Godden on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
First down, they run with Howard. Shedding through the defense. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Trubisky with a give to Howard. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Here's Trubisky. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit.
Hurry!
On first down, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's another 10 yards on that one, and another first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. A give to Howard. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9.
Hurry!
They go play action here on first down. Keeps himself upright. Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Everson Griffin able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Trubisky will throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
Come on, gotta go.
On third and goal, Trubisky. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And the Chicago Bears are in the end zone. So a fake field goal run in for the touchdown. That can be a huge momentum swing.
And that's got to drive a defensive coach and a special teams coach crazy. Someone else running it in on a fake field goal when you're supposed to be alert for it. Terrific play by the offense. Not so much by the defense.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a man making his first start in purple, the big offseason signing from Washington. It's Kirk Cousins.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins in his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24-23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap. In Seattle, gets one of the best defenses in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now Cousins toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he's able to find Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score, and we're back to Soldier Field after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Back to the ground. This time Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or lights out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. And this will be taken at the 13. A A good return there, 17 yards, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. It's brought in by Kevin White. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Gotta go, gotta go.
They go counter with Howard. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well. But they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 31. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the handoff, this is Howard. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
46 is right there. Check him, check him.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this 1st half.
Come on, gotta go, gotta go.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a 1st.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Gotta go, gotta go.
Now Howard. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And he's brought down. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard taking it in. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Cook, and he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. They run it again with Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Third and long for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken.
Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. That was second down run for Murray. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run here. It's Murray. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
Boy, he did that one on his own, didn't he? How about using that low center of gravity, plenty of force, a lot of leg drive, breaking a tackle there, and picks up a 1st down on 3rd down.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that That was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Second down, Cousins. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. Third and goal for Cousins. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Forbath will put this one through, and they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Now the return man, this is Benny Cunningham. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Ben Gideon coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Gotta go, gotta go.
They go play action with Trubisky. He's going to rifle one. He's got him in. Complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. He got 29 yards that time. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. You know, get your grip. You know, that's why we see some of the guys now, they'll put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition. Sometimes the glove might make it too slippery. So you got to figure out what's going to work for you. But how about the receivers? Looking back and trying to locate the ball coming through snow and making sure they have full concentration.
Hurry, hurry.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. Shakes off the sag. And now running right through it. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On third down, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. Now Trubisky on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Come on, gotta go.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. On third down, this is Howard. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be fourth down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Looking for White on the deep ball. And no, it's incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tall.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On 2nd down, Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Now Cousins. Oh, no, he lost the football. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Here's Cousins. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Cousins. Wright's got it. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Kendall Wright, 57 yards. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Forbath able to convert the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Bears, and it appears they're going to win this game. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around, locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Trubisky to throw. Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
They'll run it now. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.